Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday, December 22nd edition of the AM show, hosted live on the Alpha Mint Discord and, of course, live on YouTube and Twitch as well. I want to thank everyone for coming out today. It's 3 days before Christmas. The market seems like it's in a little bit of a lull, as we all predicted. This kind of tends to happen. People step away from their computers. They're not staring at JPEGs all the time. But NFTs are alive and well in the Alpha Mint Discord as well as the Alpha Mint Moon Lounge. Some great stuff going on there over the last week. I am your host, R2DJ, joined with me as always by the Lemon King of Ohio, Mr. Free Market Capitalist.
Hey now, breaking news, my orc just got back from raiding. So I'm very excited. I'm going to collect those shards, baby.
Man, that might be the first time orcs have been mentioned on this show in like 48 hours. Pretty impressive stuff. Yeah, actually, we were just talking during the pre-show. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Very excited to announce that we did give away our first lemon. That is thanks to Cardinal. Cardinal and you and myself go way back to the OG days of BitClout. And many of those that community has joined us here in Alpha Mint and are moved on to NFTs. But Cardinal was very kind enough to give away a lemon on Twitter, and he has done so this morning. So that was given out to OCM Fan. I don't think they're here in the show, but congratulations on winning a little lemon friend. That is super exciting. And I hope that he holds on to that, or she holds on to that indefinitely, because I think it's only good things from there.
Yes, congratulations. Welcome to the lemon family. We love the lemons. We live lemons. We laugh lemons. Lemons.
It's lemons everywhere. And as we also alluded to on the show and some announcements and stuff, Free Market is also generously going to be giving away a little samurai lemon today at some point in the show. So make sure that you're in the audience, you stay in the audience, and we will let you know exactly what's going down when we are ready to give that away.
I'll even give you guys a hint. It's going to be a quiz. So, start studying, go pull up those Wikipedia pages, maybe Google Greek history or some random subject. Pretend you're on Jeopardy. Start getting ready.
And in pure Sin City fashion, you're going to have to add the word lemon to the beginning of the answer as well.
Lemon.
Just kidding. No, that's really exciting. And we've got lots more giveaways coming up. Free Market and I were talking about how we can make the week between Christmas and New Year's extra special. As we said, there's always a little bit of a lull. So we might as well have some fun with it and keep the ball rolling and entertain everybody and have some fun and not let the momentum of NFTs die just because the market is going to be a little bit softer, or maybe I could be wrong and the market takes off.
Well, I mean, hell, I'll tell you, yesterday felt like the last day or the first day with no public mints since the summer. Was there anything public minting? I know there was a few whitelists, but wow, it was
sure there
quiet
was a couple
yesterday.
of things, but it didn't really take anything by storm. I saw Mendel's being mentioned a lot in the chat here and there, but that is not in public sale. So yeah, we're gonna go over that and take a look at what's going on. But I think most teams that have been putting in a lot of work to launch a successful NFT project probably realize that this is maybe not the time to do it. So yeah, we've got some stuff. Anyways, enough about me and NFTs. How are you? How was your day yesterday?
Oh, my day was fabulous. It was, like we said, very quiet on the NFT front, but very nice rebound in crypto, and that always makes my my crypto bag feel good. So.
Yeah, crypto is looking a-okay. Maybe, like we said, not out of the woods yet. There's still some work to do, but it is bouncing around in that channel. I will pull that up right now and take a look. Looking at CoinGecko, yeah, Bitcoin was touching 50,000 again. It's up a little bit, about 2% on the week. Feels pretty good about that. Ethereum having a bit of a run. It's been pretty flat over the last 24 hours, but yeah, up 5% on the week. And maybe that's a graphical bug. It should be up more than that in 24 hours. But yeah, just above the $4,000 mark again, and that is a level that feels very comfortable. It did hit as high as looks like just over 4,100 at some point yesterday. and 4,000 looks like it's been a pretty solid resistance point. So I think, as we always say, the sideways action, even if it's up and down within a give or take 5%, pretty good for NFTs. We'll see what that means during Christmas, though.
There's an old adage in traditional markets, and that's never short a dull market. And you see it happen a lot where there are these huge run-ups, and then you get the inevitable flagging out or consolidation phase, which we're in right now, and they could be violent. You could see some false breakdowns. It could frustrate both sides in each direction. But the longer that these things tend to just sit there and consolidate, the more chance that the pattern is going to resolve in its higher percentage probability. And since we're bull flagging out here, that would be up. So I think the longer these things go sideways and the more dejected people get, the more chance that this is going to resolve up, and it's getting more boring by the day. So I'm never short a dull market, and it's getting pretty dull. Let's hope that that holds here, that adage.
Yeah, it does always seem to be that thing where everyone's like, "Oh my God, poke it with a stick!" Like crypto, can the devs do something, like make something happen? I shouldn't say typically as if it's like a foregone conclusion, but a lot of times that's when a solid little run starts happening, and takes everybody by surprise. It kind of did that earlier this year. Tesla had the announcement that they were buying. It ran right up to 64,000 Bitcoin. That is. And then Elon Musk decided that Bitcoin was bad for the environment and that he was a Doge maxi. It dumped, and then it just traded sideways, down, up, ish in that channel, and then come what was it, October, November, we hit that $69,000 high on Bitcoin and almost 5,000 on Ethereum, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that there's still. The charts are firming up. They still look good, but until we get above, say, 4,500 on ETH, that chart is still kind of 50-50 as to what the next big move is.
Yeah. Couple projects having really big weeks. Everybody's favorite blockchain, NFT blockchain, Solana, is up 15%. I guess they turned it back on. Ripple having a good week, but I don't like to talk about Ripple at all. AVAX and Terra doing very well as well. AVAX is up 41%. Terra is up 56%. So lots going on there.
You're seeing a few mainstream entities and well put together projects that aren't just Ethereum knockoffs start to show up on Solana. Keith Grossman yesterday, CEO of Time Magazine, who I look up to and respect, got his first Solana NFTs over the last week with that Catalina whale mixer and then the flowers that came out yesterday. And I think Solana is firmly grooving into their eventual destiny as an L2 for Ethereum. I mean, this is what L2s are good for. Right now, they're still doing their own chain thing, but I think that with the amount of restarts their router needs, that doesn't have a very long half-life, and eventually they're just going to give up and become a bridge for Ethereum. And I think they'll be one of the better L2s out there. So waiting patiently to become a Solana maxi.
I would love to be in the room with you saying that to an actual Sol maxi.
Of course, please get them on the show.
I know you
how
will
your chain is
them.
going to scale.
I would just love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation. So, but yeah, Solana is having a pretty decent week, and it's not going anywhere. That's the thing, right? It's just firmly shot up to the top 5 in the market caps, and it doesn't seem to be going anywhere. So, I guess on that note, we can just jump into a little bit of Solana news. Beeple-backed Render Network raises $30 million from Solana, Alameda, and more. The decentralized network provides 3D rendering power for NFTs and more. It is used by artists such as Beeple and Pack. I mean, kind of mixed feelings. Like, Beeple has had so much success on the Ethereum network. I gotta wonder why this is being promoted, but I guess it's just a decentralized rendering network. I've seen those before in the past. I remember back as far as 2017, Golem used to be one. I think they've rebranded. No idea what it was called. But yeah,
precious.
It was not that kind of Golem, like the stone golems or whatever. But Yeah, they were like a decentralized computing power network where you would, exchange their token in exchange for people rendering your artwork in a decentralized way. So it would be interesting to see if something like this continues to take off. I think cloud computing power is always an interesting concept, and maybe this is one of the leading factors of Solana getting there. Maybe.
Yeah, good luck to Solana. I just claimed my Zug, 900 Zug on L1 like a gentleman. They put this switch to Polygon button up in front of me. I quickly dispensed with it and paid $66 to claim my Zug.
Amazing. You're just
Thank you.
You just made some miner's day, honestly.
Good.
Look
That's
at
what
that.
I'm here for.
Yeah, okay. So any thoughts on people participating in Solana, or I'm so glad that this conversation is of utmost importance to you.
I think anything people touches is good. Whatever. Render. Cool. These are going to be the mainstream entities that corporations use to get into NFTs because they need advisement. And it's not easy to do, and these are one of the paths they're going to use, just like they use Polygon. So good for people. I like it.
If you think free market loves talking about Solana, wait till you bring up crypto taxes with him.
Crypto who's? Crypto what?
All right, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit of banter, I guess you could call it. Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey blast Web3 as a centralized gimmick controlled by capitalists. I'm sure somewhere Shubang is the high five. Yeah, the CEOs of Tesla are touched off on one of the year's best, picking a powerful VC from Horowitz. This is like the ultra rich doing with the ultra rich. Where do you want to go with this? Jack Dorsey, actually, he through and through going to its tweet that says, I think it was Cardi B, do you think it's going to replace the dollar? And he says, yes, Bitcoin will. He does not have any love for anything other than Bitcoin, which is fine. We've talked about the BTCs a lot. I'm personally of the mindset that BTC, like the unit of measure, as much as I love Ethereum and some of the other cryptos, I have nothing against them. I'm not like a through and through Bitcoin maxi, but I do have these underlying feelings about Bitcoin's importance in the unbanked world. But don't agree with them that there's not room for anything else. Certain things have their own utility and their own purpose in growing this ecosystem. And it's, that's like saying, Ford should be the only car company and everything else is just noise, right? I just I don't agree with them on that standpoint. But Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey definitely going after the Web3, basing it's being commercialized through and through by large corporations that are looking to take you for your money. And this is coming from the heads of two large corporations that are more than happy to take your money. So, what is it?
So let's analyze what this asshole is doing right now. First of all, he quit his job as CEO of Twitter because he just could not hold his shit posts back any longer. They had seeped out, obviously, as we've seen a mere troll here and there from him, but he just went, full blown maxi. Bitcoin maxi yesterday and was commenting on any Web3 thread he could find using the most ridiculous argument, trying to drum up support from, by admonishing the rich and saying that Web3 is just about lining the pockets of VCs. I think it's a ridiculous moralistic argument that ignores so much. I mean, I think that I think the people who like Ethereum are people who are trying to become billionaires, and the people who like Bitcoin are the billionaires. And now they're telling you that all these rich people who aren't as rich as them are the evil ones trying to trick you out of your money. It comes off as disingenuous, but maybe even if it's not disingenuous, it just comes off as him being in a bubble and not understanding how the world works and how Bitcoin is not going to allow people to get rich or gain anything. If anything, it's just going to stop the bleeding that they're feeling from their own local governments or fiat currency. Bitcoin is a bet that everything is going to break, and Ethereum is a bet that everything is going to work.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about that before. I think we see things slightly differently on that, but I think our underlying belief about conversations like this is the same. As you said, it's just one ultra rich asshole arguing with some other rich assholes. And there's nothing wrong with being rich, but yeah, like it just step down from Twitter, start talking shit. Oh, by the way, free market. This is going to be my last AM show because I just want to shit post from now on too, and not worry about what people think. But no, it's like. I don't know how much we want to actually talk about this, but Elon is just like, I love the guy for his visions, like where he sees that he can bring something like a Tesla or SpaceX or Solar City, just these big ideas, and his willingness and desire to make them happen is kind of second to none. But it just I also find it so funny that he's more than happy to FUD other things that are trying to build stuff. Like I just I don't always get it.
Yeah, it again, I think it's just that he's in a bubble. He thinks he's doing good, and he doesn't realize exactly what he's doing, because once you are that wealthy, it is very hard to see things clearly. So.
Right, like you're protecting people from these big VC firms and corporate things, but meanwhile you're more than happy to shit post about moving markets like Bitcoin and Ethereum and pumping Doge, and people are losing their shirts on that. I don't know. I fucking hate it, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, and I just think Jack is wrong here.
Yeah, I agree. I think everybody in the audience is going to agree with us. I mean, we have a reason why we're here and listening to it. So with a grain of salt, we are in our own echo chamber in Alphabet sometimes, but we like to take in as much outside information and talk about these things as possible, as much as possible, because it's important to have that outside perspective. And if anybody agrees with Jack Dorsey or Elon Musk in regards to this, by all means, jump up, have the conversation with us. We're not going to rush you out of the Discord. But yeah, again, we're NFT centric, and I got to believe that that's why we're here. One person who definitely doesn't agree with Jack Dorsey, and Jack Dorsey kind of laid it down on him, was Beanie yesterday. This was, I guess, epic would be the word that I would use. I know you died when you saw it. And the Moon Lounge was up in flames seeing this. But yeah, Beanie posted the problem with Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk is that neither has built anything that's actually profitable. At the crux of it, they're just really good snake oil salesmen, stock promoters of the highest caliber. None of this is possible in Web3. That's why they're intimidated by it. I get that he's saying, like, we're in the, first they laugh, then they whatever, now they fight you, blah, blah, blah. And Jack Dorsey just replied with star GN Capital, and pretty much just a giant mic drop on there. Beanie got ratioed to all hell, and here we are.
Yeah, if you don't know, Beanie has started Good Morning Capital, which is his VC arm that he uses to take outside money and invest it in NFTs and crypto. And this is just another great example of two rich idiots thinking one has the moral high ground on the other, arguing about shit that nobody really cares about. And it was absolutely hilarious. As much as I've admonished Jack, I was very happy to see that, as Beanie can get under my skin too, as most of the things he tweets are projection. He's literally talking about himself. I think he's smart enough to know that, and he realizes that he is a clown and a carnival barker. And the same way people will make spelling mistakes for engagement, I believe he says exactly what he's doing in a way that makes it seem like someone else is doing it, because he knows his shit's going to get ratioed and popular, and he's going to get talked about on the best NFT show on the planet the next day.
Yeah, but Beanie is absolutely conscious of the fact that he is making some ridiculous hot takes.
Yeah, of course.
I gotta believe it.
Yeah, easy tactic.
I'm actually just surprised. I don't know how Jack Dorsey finds these tweets, and how somebody like Beanie, who, I mean, he has 160,000 followers. It's not nothing, but pops up on his radar and unleashes that blow.
I literally just got rugged by orcs because they added 2 days to my rating. And in the 2 days they added, for apparently no reason, which I've learned is due to the switch to Polygon. So big fuck you to Polygon. They added 2 days, and now the crab land where you can get the most bone shards has closed. All the bone shards have been taken from there. So I would just like to tell the CEO of Polygon that fuck you.
Free Market wants to speak to the manager.
Yes, please.
Manager.
If anyone knows the manager of Polygon, I'd like to see them.
Well, you might know the manager of Orcs. You could talk to them.
The orcs, we love orcs. We say the devs. The devs are gods amongst men.
There you go. A little bit of other news more towards the NFT world. Snoop Dogg posts on his main account, if it is Cosmo or not, but he says, when I ape, I ape all the way in, and he bought himself a full set of apes, the mutant ape, a bored ape, the M2 mutant ape, and a Kennel club, all with the leopard print on there, and they look pretty good. He had some fun with that too, and I'm sure he spent a pretty penny on it. But the floor on Bored Apes continues to reflect all of this, social status and these big names that people are, jumping into. He's also got it as the profile picture, and Snoop Dogg has 20 million followers.
So tomorrow morning, it's going to happen. Apes are going to flip punks. It's what we'll be talking about on the show, and you can all watch it happen in real time.
We will, I guess we'll put that up for you and see what happens. But it does feel like it's inevitable. Feels like it's coming, and
it's coming
constantly seeing Bored Apes everywhere, and punks just nowhere. So even our Begans having a nice little run from last week, up almost 100%.
Time to sell your apes and buy punks. And I don't mean today. I mean into this parabolic move that's going to happen over the next 2 months.
I gotta believe that the supply on the apes are going to tighten up very, very high as that social status that kind of comes with it becomes very, important to the holders.
Apes are going to 100 ETH before February, and mutants will be 20.
20 ETH? You're going to 20 ETH floor on the punks? Oh, mutants. Sorry.
Mutants,
oh, sorry. I thought we were still talking about the flip. Got it.
Yeah, punks will bottom out between 40 and 50, and everyone will bitch and complain. It's amazing that you see, I see punks out there coping. So, you would just think that they know you want to, look above the fray and all this stuff. And hear them coming out saying, I love my punk so much, I'll hold it to zero. What do you mean hold it to zero? Don't even say something like that. What kind of stupid supposition is that? This is a crypto punk. My only thought was that they're trying to FUD their bags so that they can get in. But it's amazing how much cope there is right now in that community, because their entire ego is based upon them being these magnanimous OGs, and now these furry dirty monkeys are just gaining on them at breakneck speed, and everyone cool wants an ape and no one wants a punk. And got to buy that FUD, man. You buy when there's blood in the streets.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the pain that comes with buying something for 100. Well, I don't understand it. I get it. Just buying something for 100 ETH and then having it draw back down to 50 ETH. But, if you only have $300,000 in the bank, you don't go shopping for a Lambo, right? You crash that Lambo and it's fucking over. We can talk about nuance. It's a completely different discussion. But, if somebody is really, really coping with the fact that's how much it's gone down, they've probably overextended themselves, or they minted it and they hodled for too long, and they're watching almost all of their net worth that was grown with this asset plummet with this asset as well. And I'm sorry, but if your punk is all of a sudden worth $2 million and the rest of your portfolio is worth a small fraction of that, just take the money, man. Just take it.
Yeah, the hodl meme has done in a lot of people, and it is psyops, and it is on purpose because you need people to be bag holders, and you need people to buy your bags when they're too expensive. So just you be very wary of that whole, hodl meme, and you realize that if any of your NFTs are worth life-changing money to you, can get you out of debt, can buy you a house, can make you comfortable, you sell that fucking JPEG. This is like this. I know it's crazy. You don't want to see it become an X copy and go to 3000 E the next year. I've heard that has happened before, but still, if it's life-changing money, you take it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's it's honestly like I guess it's different because the guy lost it, but it's like that guy who's got $300 million in Bitcoin sitting in a dump. Like,
Yeah.
He threw that out. He sat on it, whatever. And it's kind of ruined him. He's going to spend the rest of his life searching for that hard drive that probably doesn't even work anymore. And he's not going to be able to move on. So if you are worth 0 ETH and your punk all of a sudden goes up to 100 ETH and you watch that, it's going to be hard to cope with it for sure. I completely agree.
The issue is that this market can go very illiquid for very large stretches of time, and you're going to be forced by your real life circumstances to do something you don't want to do. And that's why you sell into volume, and that's why you sell on the way up, even if you don't nail the top.
Yeah, that's the biggest mistake is just try. Even if something's 5 ETH and you sell it and it runs up to 50 or 5.6 ETH, like don't worry about the fact that you missed out on that extra 12%, right? Like just move on with it.
Yep. Don't try to squeeze every penny out.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about another pretty prominent figure, maybe not as prominent as Snoop Dogg, but we're going to lead into a little segment that we have after this. But yeah, Dennis Rodman changed his Twitter profile picture and I think on Instagram to a My Pet Hooligan, and yesterday morning tweeted out GM. Dennis Rodman, for anybody under the age of 30, was a pretty prominent basketball player and subject of a lot of headlines, a lot of tabloid stuff, and he was pretty larger than life figure that played along Michael Jordan. But he's always kind of just lingered around in relevance. And I guess I don't know if My Pet Hooligan paid him to do this, if he just saw it and thought it was cool art. I did you know Dennis Rodman was even in NFTs? Is that a thing?
If you live in Orange County, then you have a bar story with Dennis Rodman. This is the one fact that I know, that if you live there, you have a crazy bar story about Dennis Rodman. I forgot where I heard that, but I've heard it a few times. And no, I've never heard of him getting into NFTs, but I think that he definitely has the vibe that NFTs would be right up his alley. Like it really is a B celebrity type of thing right now. Ja Rule and Dennis Rodman. And what I like, these guys were fun. Like they were fun celebrities who kind of walked on the wild side and lived in the counterculture, and that's who's attracted to NFTs right now. So it doesn't surprise me.
I realized while looking at his Twitter while it was up on screen that he has his OpenSea portfolio in the bio.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hilarious, man. It's just like the most random. Like I feel like I'm looking at my own wallet, if I'm being honest with you.
I'm wondering how much of it was airdropped because his wallet is down.
He's got a Crypto Maury's. He's got a
nice.
Bad Bunnies. He's got a Robotos. And then he's got like the random like Grind Ape Club or like Little Mate. Like I have no idea what these things are. Yeah, maybe some of them were dropped, but a couple Maury's in there, a Swamp Verse, Punk Friends, and then he's got a Sean Hemp Crypto Dunks. I don't know.
Maury's are one of my favorite projects, and I want to shout out the family who is like so into lemons, and I see like every other profile in the Lemons Lounge is a family, and I love those Crypto Maury's. There's some really cool derivatives coming up for them, and that's just a great example of a project. I think it's going to get to 1E next year when volume comes back to this market. It's sitting at about 0.3 right now because I think some people are trying to harvest those losses. But yeah, love the Crypto Maury's. Shout out to the family.
Yeah, for sure. The Maury's are great, and I think they're on fast track to be a Coinbase drop as well. But we'll see.
I got to show you this cool deriv someone's working. I love when they do like the really good 3D interpretations of these cool 2D PFP projects we have. So I'll get that info next week, but they look really good.
What, a derivative of what? The Moris?
Crypto Moris, yeah. There's
cool.
very, very sick 3D crypto Mori derivative coming, and I'll get that info for everyone next week.
Amazing. I'm going to use this opportunity to actually segue into My Pet Hooligan and maybe just some like high quality 3D art in general. We saw the I don't even know how to say it. The Clone X. I was going to say the explosion, but it was kind of all over the place. But Clone X it did really well, is doing really well, and maybe leading the charge a little bit on a resurgence of metaverse profiles. I think you and I are in agreement that these don't always make the best profile pictures, but I've seen some of these My Pet Hooligans pop up. I actually think that they look really good just from like an art standpoint and a character standpoint. I've seen some in profile pictures, and I'm not funding the project, but not always my favorite. They're like a little bit too detailed to be shrunk down. Although I see the King Lawson in the AM show chat, and like I immediately recognize that it's a hooligan, so maybe I'm a little bit backwards on that, but I think that these are going to be really good. They're holding their floor pretty well, 0.45. I think they got up as high as 0.7 pre-reveal. And, with a lot of the other floors dropping, these seem to have done really, really well. Lots of volume and lots of above floor sales still going on there. But, we talked yesterday about Lucky Zeros. And there was a lot of talk, as I mentioned before, about Mendel's NFT. And these 3D 3D avatar projects seem to be popping up a lot more. You had a little bit of a chance to look into Lucky Zeros a bit, I think, and we are sitting at 1.6 1,600 of them minted out of 888. Now keep in mind that is still in pre-sale. Not a lot of activity going on in terms of volume and floor price, but I think that I'm still keeping an eye on this.
So bold simplicity is not normally what is gone for in 3D art. That's what I think these zeros are kind of doing well here, is that even though they're 3D art, and when you zoom in, the textures are just really, really good on their clothing and their fur and their skin and all that.
I'm just looking at that right now.
Yeah, it looks really great. But when you zoom out, the boldness and simplicity of it speaks to the PFP bubble. Now, we know that most of these 3D projects that are coming out now, whether it's Clone X or My Pet Hooligan or even these non-fungible humans, which will be minting next week, there's more at play here. These are going to be movable, workable characters within various metaverses, and these roadmaps are going to take time to play out, so you can't buy it under that thesis expecting to flip it, obviously. But that's what these projects tend to go for, though this one doesn't necessarily have metaverse promises or plans. It just looks good in the PFP. So I wouldn't shy away from 3D projects if they're not PFPable, especially because they just have they have all these other facets to it, which people can't really understand right now. One of the things I talk about a lot is I think next year is going to be the year of hardware, whether we're talking about tiny little thin screens you keep in your pocket to display Top Shot cards, or whether we're talking about interactive frames that you can put on your wall. This is what I think is really one thing that's going to bring NFTs forward. It's lacking right now, and it really plays into the 3D meta, which is becoming very popular. So,
yeah, definitely. I don't know. I gotta think these are one to watch out for. I'm getting a lot of the Cool Man's Universe kind of vibes, where they could go with like a lot of color, a lot of different textures, even just some different actual like base figure types, which Cool Man's did really well. But yeah, I mean, yesterday I think they were sitting at 300, 400 minted out. It didn't look like there was much going on in there, but it seems to continue to be going. And there's about 5 hours left, I believe it says on the website. 4 hours and 50 minutes left until the public sale. So I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on the volume and see where that goes.
What happened? They flipped. They flipped. Punks
What?
punks are now lower than apes. Apes have flipped punks. It just happened.
Where are you seeing this?
I've had multiple people message me to tell me. Right now, the floor on punks is 52.69 and the floor on apes is 53.81. The flippening has occurred.
All right. Live on screen. We have DC investor actually just pulled this up as well. Always good for breaking news. He is. And looks like it's official now. Congrats on this. Seriously, the Bored Apes have got heart. And yes, the base floor price of Bored Apes is now officially higher, as Free Market said, by 1 ETH. See if the punks can rally back from this, or if Bored Apes are just going to go absolutely parabolic on this news. But you said it was going to happen yesterday, and you lied to us.
No,
or you tomorrow? Sorry,
tonight. I said it would happen tonight. All right, that was a little early. I do think apes are going to 100, and punks are going to fall to 40, maybe even a little under. So
at the same time, next bet, a 60 ETH disparity in the floor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when you're right, you start to sound so smug. I love it. I can hear it. I can hear the big grin on your face.
Look, I got bearish on punks a few months ago. I'm starting to get bullish on them again. I still love apes, and I'm not bearish on them, but I'm certainly, if I had one, I'd be looking for my exit. Again, I know it's a club. I know there's utility. If that's your goal, we're talking something completely different. But if we're talking about ETH, you start to look to want to sell apes into the volume I expect to see in the next 2 months, and maybe buy punks as a rebound play, mean reversion.
So as a interesting question, a while ago you posed, would you rather spend 100 ETH on an ape or 100 ETH on a punk? You had to spend all of it, and you didn't get to keep any of it. And we kind of split sides on it. You said a punk. Yeah. Let's go further with this question. You're saying that you think apes are going to get to 100 ETH floor at this around the same time. Punks will be at a 40 ETH floor. Would you rather buy a punk for 40 ETH or an ape for 100 ETH?
Oh, punk, no question.
You're still going punk?
Because my call,
I guess that makes sense. I don't know why I'm asking it like that. That seems like an obvious play.
And my call was not on price and not as an investment thesis. My call is, who are you and what are you looking for as utility from your NFTs? For who FMC is and what he wants out of NFTs, I just think a punk would be more valuable to me. Whereas I think a lot of people would think an ape would be more valuable to them, about who it gives them access to and what this ape would be. So, it's definitely personal preference, and I don't think there's a right answer, but the idea that punks don't have utility is a misnomer. They have always had utility, because being in the punks is a club, and it's a serious club. And whether you see them, bitching a little bit on Twitter or maybe not acting the best or whatever, the real ones, the ones who don't get into these petty, your ETH is worth more than mine squabbles, I think they're very, very valuable, smart connections. And there's a lot of alpha in that punks chat, I promise.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything that you said. And if I'm being honest with you, if I could see you rocking a profile picture other than your Began, your Star Wolf, or your little lemon friend in fourth place, it would definitely be a punk over a Bored Ape.
Well, no, I like orcs better than, as far as what I would wear as my. Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. So if you bought a punk, it wouldn't be your PFP?
I may rock it for a few days. I prefer Begons aesthetically over punks. I would use the punk as my ticket into the alpha room.
Amazing.
Basically.
We're Begon maxis through and through, honestly, in that conversation.
The punks I like are never going to be worth less than $10 million. So, like, the ones that I think look good are just, they don't get caught up in bear markets. Like, and you see it too, like Grail Fidenzas, even though the Fidenza floor is down to 50, there's not one Grail Fidenza that's been lowered. No one's taken a penny less. This is, and you have to look at the markets this way. Like what is the floor really telling you? If an alien or a zombie sells for $10 million or $12 million in the first quarter of next year, you can expect that floor to start ramping back up super quick, and no one's taking less for a zombie or an ape or an alien.
Love it. Love it. Well, that's big news. And I guess now that it's actually happened, it'll be fun to watch where it goes from here. You've always obviously drawn your line in the sand, but I think the punks aren't going to lie down completely. But I guess it's not really up to them. They have to have outside money coming in to push that floor up. So,
And that's the great point. Is any outside money going to be flowing into punks anytime soon? I doubt it.
yeah,
It's
I
it's
got to
not the
believe when
flex.
somebody's
Yeah,
faced with 55 ETH purchase, they're buying up Bored
hmm
Ape over a punk right now. Like
they're
in
taking that ape.
this, yeah, I think in this
No
moment for
question.
sure. Cool. Well, that's going to be another topic of discussion that we will have to follow back on. Other than that, I think the only thing we had was like the creature world kind of drama. We talked about the 3D profile pictures. Mendel's was a big conversation yesterday. I think they look great. I'm curious to see what happens with them once they're fully minted out. Looks like they're about halfway. So we will touch back on that maybe tomorrow and see what happens. But yeah, creature world going through some struggles right now. The floor
This
is
is
kind of about 1 ETH, which is low for them.
Yeah, this is really the danger in roadmaps and anticipation when you're an NFT project, right? Now, Creature World was some of the best art released this year. I mean, shout out to Charlie Hilton, who really has such a good eye for these things. He was like, those are going to be in the MoMA, and I still actually think they will. I think the art on creatures is totally next level, just like Doodles, just like any of these other known artists who have committed hard to NFTs. I just think that for the entire project, I kept hearing about, oh, creatures are, you don't even know, the journey has just started. There's Creatures World. Like everyone kept talking about this thing. Now, I wasn't in Creatures, so I hadn't like dove deep and gotten into the roadmap. But apparently, by the time NFT NYC occurred, there was a fever pitch for what was about to come. The creature world roadmap and what they were going to build was next level, and people didn't understand. Anytime you hear a project go, you just don't understand, you just don't get it. I mean, maybe Artifact pulled it off, but usually they don't. And I think here it's that case right now. So I do think creatures are going to come back, but there is not just an issue with price right now. There is rancor within the community as people believe the roadmap they were promised was changed under their feet by the creator himself. So they feel it wasn't just that he didn't deliver, it was that he changed it without telling them, especially the biggest creature holders. And, people saw these very large creature holders start dumping, and that caused other people to start dumping. And I mean, we have seen some projects that were stars of this latest bull run just completely croak the last few weeks, whether we're talking about Pudgy Penguins or now Creature World. Which these were two communities you thought were Teflon. And the fact that a fracture within the community, not outside, not by a move that the company necessarily, but fractures within the community have caused just absolutely violent dumps that I don't know if Pudgy Penguins can come back from. And I think Creature World can come back on their art. But man, it's been a rough week for those two communities, and this is just after. I remember the day before Creature World was about to release this Creature Journey or their Creature World map or whatever it's called. People were pumped. You saw celebrities buying their. I forgot who it was. Someone like literally bought the top before
Shaq, I think. No.
I know Shaq got one a couple weeks ago. Someone like the day
Months
of
ago,
the
I think, at this
roadmap.
point.
Yeah,
Oh,
someone the day of the roadmap bought creatures like Creature World is today. I'm pumped. And it's just, I'm not in that community, so I don't understand the intricacies that led to this, but it's sad to see because these were two of the bigger stories of 2021.
yeah, it definitely feels like if anything can absolutely destroy a project, it's dissent within the community. As you said, they felt like they were Teflon. It didn't matter what the outside world was saying about them. These holders were, hodling better than anybody else. Basically, we talked about Pudgy Penguins just even through the bear market, hardly taken a beating. I'm looking at like, a 10,000 item drop in Creature World with 6,000 owners. So, the average owner owns less than 2 of these. If they're starting to move quickly, it's not just a trading thing. It's like, it's got to be some people like actually divesting themselves of the community.
We saw a very large thread you and I were reading before the show from a punk who owns, or I don't know if it was a punk, I'm sorry, but someone who was a very big creature investor who is dumping all their creatures as a respect. And this wasn't like he needs the money. This was like, I was told something completely different occurred. I no longer have faith in the team, and I no longer have faith in their ability to execute. It was pretty admonishing.
Yeah, it's a tough look, but we're going to see whether they're able to come back or not. I mean, honestly, if you're pretty liquid and you're thinking about a long-term buy, maybe this is a pretty good purchase, but I wouldn't be too bullish on them in the short term, I suppose. So
and please be aware of buying anything off the secondary right now that hasn't seen a big pullback is dangerous, as people are going to do some crazy stuff over the next 9 days. I'm telling you, I've bought 5 NFTs for 0 over the last few days. Okay, people are going to do crazy stuff now. So don't go rushing into a floor that hasn't seen a big pullback on the secondary, because I think it could suffer.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not looking for anything to be having a massive run up unless it's a fresher mint or a newer project. Even then, though, like we said, I mean, at the end of the day, the NFT community isn't a huge community right now. I mean, we might have like 200,000 daily active users, which is not nothing. Obviously, there's a lot of money flying around in the ecosystem with some of the whales and all of that. But I mean, you start to pull a large percentage of a small community away from the computer into family things. There's probably been some instances where, people have spent a large portion of time over the last 2 or 3 months in front of the computer. And now it's like, okay, now it's family time, or now it's time to see people.
A lot of people got killed at the end cycle, and all of their ETH is right now sitting in projects that if they do come back, they're not coming back till at next month at the earliest. Right. So it's the state of the market right now, and people are going to panic and do crazy things. If you're liquid and sitting there on a pile of ETH, you are a happy person right now.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of alpha minters are bullish on the prospects of ETH offers, but I know Scott always talks about that too. Is just like, now's the time to just start undercutting any project that you're interested in.
Can we quickly shout out 2-year Flipper? Okay, this is a legend in trading the 2-year treasury bill in traditional markets, right? I have known this fine gentleman for going on a decade now, and he was just one of the best bond traders I ever met. He decided that he was going to get ahead of this NFT trend. He joined AlphaMint, and yesterday he was able to flip a Bored Ape Kennel Club dog that he had banged out a 1 WETH offer on last week. He flipped it for 3 this week. Okay, because we see what's happening with Bored Apes and everything related to Bored Apes. So if you have the liquid, there are few better plays than banging out WETH offers into collections where people desperately need liquidity or they need tax losses into this part of the year. So shout out to your Flipper. What a trade. What a trade.
And 2-year Flipper shows us like way too much love on Twitter. I say that tongue in cheek because we appreciate it so much. But I mean, this guy's been a huge supporter of AlphaMint and the AM show, and it's always appreciated too.
Thank you, homie.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks. I didn't realize you guys went so far back. I knew that it kind of came from your financial FinTwit days.
Yeah, we're Twitter friends. We've never gone to dinner or anything, but when you talk with someone for that many years about markets, especially, it's just you form a bond. So really happy that
form a bond. I see.
Yeah, really happy he made that trade. That was a hell of a flip for 1 week.
Dope. Amazing. I guess maybe, is it that time? Are we thinking it's time for this?
Wow. I think it is that time. All right. Let's get this going. So guys, maybe you heard at the beginning of the show And I am even going to make a quick reminder now on Twitter. We are giving away a little lemon friend. And if you haven't seen him, he is a sprout head with 2 samurai swords on his back. Pretty wicked little guy, if I do say so myself. And we're going to give him away to someone in the audience right now. So here's what I want everyone to do. If you have your hand up right now, put it down, because I am going to ask a trivia question. Now, this trivia question you would know the answer to if you listened to the interview with Sonerius. Now, you may say, oh, crap, if you didn't, and you're going to try to go rush now and listen. Now, I'm not sure if you're going to have time, but, go for it if you want to. But I am going to ask a question, and you have to have your hands down to be eligible until the end of the question. Then you are all going to race and try to put if you know the answer. If you don't know the answer and you raise your hand, I may come to you. And if you don't know it, I'm just going to kick you off. We love you, but that's how this contest is going to work. So
Get the cane.
Hands down. I see Ongos is still up, but he's not eligible anyway, just because, no, I'm just kidding. Of course, Ongo's eligible, but put your hand down. Otherwise, I'm not counting you. But yes, all right, so here we go. I am going to ask the question now, and then everyone can put their hand up if they know the answer, and I'm going to go in order of whoever put their hand up first. So, for the sprout head, samurai, little lemon, I will ask you, what was the business Sonerius started in high school that gave him the capital to get into NFTs?
All right. I saw Josh, Lemon Holder, and Illidan in that order put their hands up.
All right. So here we go. Let's bring up our first hand, and let us see if he knows the answer to this.
GM Josh.
All right, GM guys, how you guys
Good
doing?
morning, Josh. How are you?
Oh, doing all right.
Shit. Oh yeah. He said till after you finished the question.
I mean, subject of the question was done.
See, I had my guy, and Josh, we love you, but we do have to stick to the rules. And if you did raise your hand before the question was over, unfortunately, we are going to move you back down to the audience.
Oh, brutal, but it's okay. I understand.
I am so
that's
on me, man. But you have a lovely collection of lemons already.
Yeah, no, please.
Oh boy,
DM,
do I!
Please DM R2 after the show to talk with him about what he did.
Yeah, so after I was kind of paying attention to that, and I believe it was Lemons Fans for Life that got in there once the question was done.
Lemons Fan for Life, come on up and tell us, what business did Sonerius start in high school that gave him the capital to get into NFTs? We have sent you the request, Lemons Fan for Life. And I know that is a Penguins fan for life originally. Go Pengs, Pittsburgh, represent. All right, sir, what is the answer?
The answer is a clothing company.
Correct! Woohoo!
Fact checkers,
we have done it. Yes, correct. We have a winner. Guys, if you have not listened to the interview with Sonerius about where Little Lemon's friends came from, how he got into NFTs, you really need to, because I was bullish on the project before, but what got me to Ape was just listening to him talk. Like, you have to bet on teams. You have to bet on founders. He just gets it. Thank you, Lemons Fan for Life. You can DM me your address, and I'll make sure to get that little lemon over to you. And I really appreciate everybody coming and trying today. And yeah, go check out that interview. Here's a fun tip for everyone in the audience who hasn't left already, because they were just waiting for the contest. I saw you. We're going to be giving away more little lemons next week, and that's the people in the audience. And we're paying attention to the people who are here right now, because we are going to come up with some other creative ways to give them out. So please Join us next week. We're going to have a whole host of shows and giveaways as we anticipate maybe a small lull in the NFT market until January. So congratulations, Lemons fans, for life. I will get that over to you. Just shoot me a DM.
I took the oh, sorry, Lemons, go.
No, sorry. One thing, since I rugged Josh, DM me. I'll buy you one off the floor.
Oh,
you don't have to do that, but that's amazing.
Oh, that's such a nice gesture. See, this is the lemon community in a nutshell. In a peel. I don't even know what to say. But
community. Oh, anyway, the alpha mint conglomerate.
I'm pretty sure the alpha mint community and the lemon community are almost one and the same.
You want to talk about interoperability?
Exactly. But shout out, thank you, Lemons fan, and shout out to everyone in the audience. We got more lemons next week. Do not fret.
I also invited Illidan up here to come give me shit. That was me. Free Market did a couple pump fakes in the middle of that question.
It was me.
No, it's not your fault. But you had me too. I was like, ooh, I was trying to put my hand up. It doesn't let me put my hand up because I'm already a speaker. Oh man, I off my game today. I apologize, but Lemons fan was the first.
Our Italian friend Dark has come up to say hi. Hello.
No,
that was a great talk. So, just kidding. What's up, Dark? We can't hear you if you're talking. There is a mic issue.
Yeah. Oh well, we'll leave him up here.
Let's bring someone else up. King Lawson, I don't know if your hand was up because you want to ask a question. This is the AMA part of the show. We're going to just riff a little bit and talk with anybody who wants to talk NFTs right now. So,
yeah.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
I can now. Let's let Lawson go first, and then you can yell at me to your heart's content. And now I can't hear him. Okay, he's muted. Okay, cool. King Lawson, what's going on? I hope this isn't about the My Pet Hooligan profile picture. I didn't mean it like that.
He did. King, he did.
Having a hard time hearing you as well. Discord, man. Can't live with it, can't live without it.
'Tis the way it is. All right, Dark, tell us something. Why are you up here?
Same thing.
This
Runs
is like
Discord.
Yeah, this is a who's on first bid right now. Da-na-na. Hi, King Lawson. Are you back? Is your mic working now? We would love to hear from you.
What the heck? What do you mean, Ongo? Everybody except R2. I can read barely, but I can read.
We can hear everybody except R2.
No, that's not true.
Oh. I would love to talk about very quickly some upcoming projects that I don't.
Jesus.
There he is. I heard Dark.
He's back.
Yes.
It's. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good, man. We can hear you. Oh my god, I think he's just trolling us. This is his way of getting back at me.
All right, let's start with Hunger Brains. I'm going to be dropping some Discords in the general right now of projects that I'm excited about coming up in January. I don't think there's a lot of public mints, and I know Non-Fungible Humans is the 27th. That's one of the public ones I'm aware of, but we've been a little light on upcoming projects as we've been heading here into the holidays. And I just wanted to highlight 4 that have intrigued me. These aren't recommendations yet. We're still trying to find out about the projects and the whitelists. But the first thing that always grabs you is art. These all have cool art, and most of them are games. And I think that the gaming meta that calmed down is going to be coming back roaring really hard in the first half of the year. So here's Hunger Brains. And this is going to be a zombie versus human type of P2E situation. The next one I'm putting up is Space Game which looks it's Marines in space battling different creatures, also P2E. And then the final game I want to post, which I'm really excited about, would be Pixel Quest. Now, we talked about this one a little bit yesterday. Their Discord is closed, and if you didn't do it, you need to go to their Twitter and put on notifications, because over the next week or two, they're going to be opening the Discord randomly for 20 minutes to an hour at a time and letting people in. Very effective marketing tool, always puts a good amount of mystery around the project, but I know the people involved in this one, and there's quality devs and quality creators behind it. So it's one of the ones I'm more excited for. I will get that Twitter link up as well. So there's just a few projects I wanted to point out here while we're experiencing a bit of a lull.
Yeah, I just responded that he's driving in a snowstorm. I hope you're not actually doing the one that's driving while you're texting
There's
and talking.
snow in Australia?
I don't even know where he is today.
He can't tell us his location for safety reasons. That's why he's throwing the snow thing out there.
Let's bring Cass up, and we'll keep Lawson up and see if his stuff starts working.
Can you hear me?
Cass, you are loud and clear, man.
Like, guys, man, like, you have made me bust up so differently today, man. So differently. So differently.
Did you end up getting sleep? You were up super late with the ghost interview.
Yeah. It was a bit mad. So, like, normally I stay up till late anyway. But for some reason, I don't know if it was you or Free Market, one of the two. There was a notification that come up, and I was like, "Oh, let's have a listen." It's on Twitter Spaces. I don't have to talk because it's on my tablet, and it doesn't really work in any way. And then it was only when I think Free Market was asking about things to do with Twitter Spaces.
Yeah.
And I thought, shit, okay, let me get out of bed. Let me go in front of the computer screen and let me see what I can do to help out. And that was a cool show, man. That was actually a really cool show. The art was sick.
Thank you.
We were both having a boomer moment there, I think. Maz somewhere just shaking his head at us. He's the Twitter space master, but we're learning.
It was funny. My app had not updated to properly do spaces, so I was panicking a little before, but I always love talking to Ghost, especially about art theory. He's a real student of material and craft. So when I love to just let him talk. Like I'll point out a piece and he always has good color on it. And yesterday, I think it was a really great dive into the artist's mind. And man, if you saw the evolution of these Pantone pieces from what he started putting out as he was exploring the material and what was possible to what he put out yesterday. I mean, when Lambo, WGMI, can the devs do something? These are all classics to me. I mean, I cannot wait to see what Ghost, continues to produce, because every iteration just becomes better to me. So I really appreciate you tuning into that. Spaces last night, we are going to get better at them. But yeah, it was such a fun conversation.
No, the guy's a legend. I can see him in the audience. If he's hearing, he's a legend, because the art was nuts. And like I said in the Twitter Spaces, it was the titles he gave for the art pieces that were just so inspirational. And true to form, it was the legend.
Legend. I think my favorite crypto artists are the ones who are making a comment on what's going on right now, because we know just the general absurdity of the world we're in, right? Like I think that we spend a lot of the day laughing because it's just absurd on every level, whether we're talking about the memes or the things we invest in or the theses we come up with for each other about why you should buy this picture of a moose. I mean, it's all out there stuff, right? But this is, it's whatever. We love it. And I think, Ghost really just gets it. And you can just see it in his art. You can see in the commentary he's been making on the space recently. He's a triple threat, this guy.
He's a legend. And he's so humble. He's so humble. I think that's what was really nice to hear. Like, when I've gone to art galleries to produce my art, my photography and stuff, Most of the people that are there, they're just so up their own backside. It's unreal. It really is unreal. And I'm just sitting there thinking, oh, okay, whoopity do, you know. But Ghost was just really different, and I really appreciated that yesterday, man. Like so differently. It's unreal.
The
Yeah.
thing that gets
Unreal.
me about Ghost is that like these big name buyers will come in and buy them, and they'll seek them out in the DMs and be like, "Why me?" Where like so many people would be like, "Hell yeah!" Like I'm the shit. Like of course they're buying, right? And he's like, "What did you like?" And you know, he's just like Free Market said, just such a student of art, and you know, he really just values like what's working and you know how it's making people feel and what they're thinking of his art and his commentary, and like you said, it's done in an incredibly humble way too, right? Rather than just, you know, a lot of people that are able to make really bold statements are just really bold people, but he manages to walk that line very well.
I don't want to embarrass him with this comparison, but it really reminds me of Banksy, right? Because Banksy is not just about the images, it's about what each one says, just the brilliant commentary on whatever he's talking about. And this is what really jumped out to me with the Ghost drop yesterday. So just, you know, really well done, sir. Thank you for that drop.
To be fair, also, I think what was it? Domestic violence. That piece really did leave chills down my spine, you know. Like really did.
I mean, these are powerful pieces, and I just think one day they're going to be in Sotheby's and Christie's. I mean, they are that important historically to me on what he's saying about crypto, almost better than anybody else out there.
Mm-hmm. Another question. When SW, innit? When SW? No. You were saying like projects that are coming in the new year and blah blah blah, and I just thought to myself like, listen, you're missing one massive NFT project, which I think is going to personally blow the moon just because of the team that they've got.
I guess the only reason I hesitate is because they've put out so little information. I mean, how did these guys get 11,000 followers on 6 tweets? I don't understand. And I've been trying to put everything together. That last video was pretty revealing, and I have to agree with you. I am pretty pumped because I do hear rumors that things are starting next month.
Oh, sick! Really? Okay.
I might have to beep that out. That might just be for like live listeners only. On the recording, it's going to be a long beep.
Redacted.
Yeah.
In the Kaiju Discord, I am asked 30 times a day about the redacted project. They don't even say it by name. It is redacted.
The funniest thing is even about the Twitter marketing on it with only 7 tweets. I had this passionate argument which lasted for nearly 2 hours about organic growth and Star Wars. Now he kept saying, "Oh, it's not organic," and I was like, "Dude, I'm not being funny. You've got like 124,000 people that follow you on Twitter, but your engagement is only like 2 likes. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about organic? These guys are organic." I jumped on I think I jumped in first 200, 300 people that when you first posted out. So I've kept an eye on it ever since. And yeah, no, you've used, or what I believe is you've used the way that the majority of the NFT people think and what gets them going, which is always a case of mystery. Mystery kind of drives the NFT space differently, what I've noticed, because when you've kind of put all your cards on the table, everyone just says, you know what, we'll leave you for a couple of years and then we'll come back and pick you up when you're on the floor. But because of the whole mystery side, because every other game has gone out there trying to do this, trying to do that, and you guys are just showing things that is completely different to what anyone else is doing, it's game over. It's a well thought out strategy.
Well, here at the Hair Club for Men, I'm not just the owner, I'm also the biggest customer. I don't know if you guys remember that commercial from when we were kids.
Oh my
But
God, we're ending the show on that one. Holy shit.
I just think that when, I'm an NFT fan. Like, I got into NFTs because I wanted NFTs. I think that through the Star Wars project, that first and foremost, we're NFT heads. Like, that's why we're designing this project. And that I hope it comes through, because we're designing like that. That is our main tenant here. Is like, this is something we desired and we need it out in the marketplace. So
Don't worry about that, man. It will happen. You've done it well. No, it's true though. Come on, man. Like, if the lemons had pushed the way it pushed just through the moon lounge, right? And not all of us really pushed it. Let's be honest.
I won't take credit for that. Cenarius, the young genius, deserves all that credit. I'm glad that AlphaMint could do anything it could, but that is all Cenarius.
No, 100%. But then even still, even if we look at just AlphaMint alone, yeah. And listen, when that SW drop happens, I think that's what I'm going to call it from now on. Southwest.
That's
what I'm going to. Southwest.
Southwest
all day.
Airline. Only destination. Do we know? Beyond the moon. The moon will just be a speck of dust where we're going.
100%, man. 100%. Are we?
What was that sigh? Did I just hear a sigh from my co-host?
No.
You
were just killing it with the taglines. That's all.
Okay.
Hey, Artie.
What's going on?
I need to send you something. I need to send you some lemon something over the post, man.
Oh,
lemon something. It's Christmas, dude. Christmas.
Yeah, we'll see. If maybe I'll get a PO box set up or something. But you know what is great with lemons is tequila.
Limes. That's a lime thing.
No, it's not. Are you fucking kidding me?
All right, everyone in the this is a poll now. I gotta put it is tequila and lime. It's the goddamn. It's the song.
Look, I don't question you about your marijuana habits, but don't come at me for the alcohol. All right,
marijuana habits. All right,
and it's nice. I like tequila. Kind of a so I'll take anything, bros. Like, that's just me. Right, listen, I'm gonna keep it going before it starts to turn explicit. Guys, pleasure as always, man. And quick one, do you think we're gonna have a holiday party?
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I think probably finding some time in next week, just kind of in between Christmas and New Year's, get together. If anyone wants to share their screen, we'll throw some music on. And we'll just have a good time jamming out. But
did you guys see the Christmas parade? I know you were out that day, but we had the most awesome Christmas parade come through our general
was that the Hoots?
The crypto Hoots. They made they made floats and special images and all this cool stuff. Because I'm silly. What can I tell you? See, you're from the mouths of babes.
The reigning lemon master is silly AF.
Yes.
All right. But yeah, I did see the floats come through, and that was actually a hilarious idea. And apparently we gave them the best reception. So I didn't know who didn't give them a good reception, but shame on them, really.
It was really a lot of fun. I think, little things like this, whether you were part of it or not, it shows a community that cares. It's one reason I was bullish on Crypto Hoots. When you see that community, they're just committed and they care. I don't see a Creature World situation happening to them or a Pudgy Penguins.
No, they're good people. Smart. Anyways, Cass, I thank you for coming up, and honestly, like you and a whole bunch of other people are here every single show. Means the world to us. We shouted out to your Flipper, but you deserve just as much love. And everybody else in the show. We had over 50 people in the audience for the majority of that. And if you compare that against the NFT world, I think things are only looking up from here and into the new year. So free market. Anything you want to finish us off with?
No, I think that's it.
All good to go. All right. Well, like we said, there's going to be, we have the shows for the rest of the week. Next week, we're going to be leaning hard into just the giveaways and having a lot of fun with that week. Anticipating it to be a little bit slower, as we mentioned, probably 200 times in this show. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you were late or you want to catch up on past episodes, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all there for you to listen to in its entirety. And actually, I did some a little bit of counting yesterday, and I think that we might be hitting our 50th episode that's been recorded as the last episode of the year. So maybe something special for that too.
Ooh, can't wait. Lots of fun.
Can't believe it. It's been 50, but it only feels like 5.
NFTs.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Yeah. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to do it again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. and we will do it again and again on Friday and every other weekday after that. So thank you so much. And if Free Market's not going to say it, I will. Good luck at the tables.